Oh yes, welcome people, welcome to my YouTube channel, welcome my viewers. How are you doing? How have you been? How is it at your farms? I'm so excited to have you yet again onto this episode. Yes, hope everything is well with you. Hope it is well at your farms. Yes, here we are doing well. Everything is moving on well, and I'm excited to share with you today about something very interesting, and I hope you love it. So many of you might have encountered it. Yes, but before we dive in, if you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, share it with your loved ones, and yes, let's grow this channel together by you doing that. And in case you have any comment, drop it in the comment section. That section was actually put there for you to share your views. Let's do farming together. Let's enjoy farming together by sharing ideas. Yes, I'm so glad that you tuned in, and let's dive into this video. In this video, I'll be talking about a condition that I believe most of you farmers have identified or have noticed on your farms. But if maybe not, you may not have understood why that happens on your farms. And I'll be talking about a condition that is majorly seen in pregnant goats that have given birth. Yes, in pregnant goats, actually in the late stages of pregnancy and after giving birth. Usually, you realize that these goats tend to feel weakly. They tend to feel sick after giving birth, like 3-4 hours after giving birth. You realize that they have that tendency of being weak, like they lose appetite, they're sluggish in their walking, they always feel like they want to just rest. And then maybe sometimes when you look at the coat, the hairs of the animals, they are rough. They usually rise, they rise up. They are rough, generally they are rough. So that condition is what I want to talk about today. Usually, anyway, I don't know whether most of you have encountered that, but if you have, you can drop it in the comment section and let us know about that and what your view is about that. But from my experience, from the research I've made and from what I've seen on our farm, we recently had our goats give birth, and that was common. But you realize that usually that happens to goats that are not subjected to intentional dieting. By intentional dieting, I mean these are goats that have not been subjected to a certain routine of feeding. This usually happens to goats that have not been taken good care of, as in that have not been subjected to a good nutrition, intentional nutrition. I mean, you come up with a plan, or a feeding plan, a nutritional plan for your pregnant goats. That if my goats are left with about let's say 2 to 3 weeks, that plan that you come up with, that nutritional plan that you come up with for those goats, to ensure that they have all the nutrients they require to enable them give birth well, and also after giving birth that the body still has that ability to sustain itself and also to produce milk, because at that stage the animal has to keep generating milk for the kid. So that kind of planning, that nutritional plan, if you've not subjected your animals to such a nutritional plan, usually you're going to have this condition, and this condition is called milk fever. Milk fever is a metabolic condition that happens when there's a shortage of supply of blood calcium in the body. When the animal is about to give birth, it utilizes so much of the calcium ions, in fetal development. The body goes into a state of failure. And by failure, I mean the body of the animal requires blood calcium for fetal development and also production of milk. Now, calcium in blood is actually a major component in milk production. It's also a major component in fetal development, in the development of the body tissues, the bones of this fetus or of the kid in the body, in the animal. So calcium is a very key Calcium is a very key component in formation of that. Now, when there's a shortage, or when there's a shortage of calcium in the blood, and what brings about this shortage? This shortage is brought about when you don't subject your animal to proper feeding, because what this body does, the body of the animal, it utilizes the calcium in the blood to make the fetus. It also utilizes the calcium in the blood to make the milk for the animal. That's after maybe production, giving birth of the kid. The body of the animal starts using the calcium in the body to make the milk. Now, when there's a shortage of calcium in the blood, to aid in the formation of the fetus, that is maybe before giving birth, or in the production of milk, that is after giving birth. When there's that shortage of calcium to achieve all these purposes, the animal will tend to fail. The body of the animal tends to fail. The animal goes into a state of failure where it is sort of a metabolic failure of the body to achieve its purpose. Now, God created these animals in such a way that at a certain stage, let's say at a later stage of pregnancy, the body system works out itself to produce milk. Now, that whole process of forming the fetus toward in the later stages of pregnancy, and then that whole process of forming milk in the late stages of pregnancy or after pregnancy, is an automatic system. It is wired within the body system. Now, when the body fails to achieve that, what you see in the physical is the animal failing, the animal becoming weak, is the animal acting like it is sickly, it's the animal acting like the hairs of the animal raising, becoming rough. That's what you see in the physical. But really, what is behind the scenes? It is the failure of the body system to achieve what it was wired to do. You see? So, but what then brings about a shortage of the calcium in the body? Because the body uses the calcium in the reserves, but when it looks for the calcium to use and there's no calcium, that's what happens. But then what brings about that failure of the body to have calcium, all that? It's what I earlier on talked about, poor feeding of the animal. Now, for those that are doing free range kind of system, when the animal is in its later stages of pregnancy, it is advisable, you shouldn't overwork these animals. Don't over move them. Let them not move longer distances. Why? Because they use a lot of energy in the process of moving. You get? But when what is advised, if possible, supplement these animals. Supplement them with nutritious feeds. Just 2 to 3 weeks back. Find, at least get aware of supplementing them. Get something to feed them that may be of low calcium content. It shouldn't be of high calcium content, because high calcium content will actually cause the fetus to be bigger. The kid to be bigger. The kid will actually be big, and then the animal may get difficulties in giving birth. But find a balanced nutrition for these animals here. Provide some calcium. Provide some feeds with rich in calcium. Not too much of it, not excess of it. Then supplement it with some phosphorus. Supplement it with some magnesium. So you balance up these feeds for these pregnant animals. If possible, isolate them from the many animals in free range. And if they are doing free range, don't send them so far. Just send them for a shorter distance. Let them eat from there, then bring them, supplement them, and then let them just eat within. They shouldn't move so far. Yes. Secondly, yes, that's one. But then if the condition, because sometimes it really gets worse, whereby the animal looks as if it wants to really die. You get? If you're not so knowledgeable in that. Of course, I know farmers out there are so experienced in this, but for maybe the farmers that may not be so much experienced, that may not have experienced this, you can have a you can have the help of the veterinary doctor. Yes, when your animal is about to give birth, engage the veterinary officer, yes, to help you on this. Yes, that is one of the possible causes of animals acting that way. The other cause would be retention of the placenta. Retention of the placenta. I mean, by retention of the placenta, I mean the placenta fails to come out. The animal gives birth, but then the placenta remains inside. That can be pathogenic in nature. The cause of that can be pathogenic in nature, whereby the fetus or the kid in there is attacked by a disease. It can be bacterial infection, it can be a viral infection that attacks directly the kid inside, attacks the whole process of formation of the kid inside. So now that again, you may need a veterinary officer, you may need the help of a veterinary officer. That's why it's good to monitor these animals, especially when they're in their late stages of pregnancy. Yes, monitor them, monitor their condition, their reactions. How are they reacting? Is the animal getting weaker and weaker? Is the animal failing to feed? Is the animal releasing some discharge from behind before it's time of giving birth? Usually it's that white kind of discharge, you know. Find out, like, monitor that. But then for such a condition of retention of the placenta being retained in, usually we administer antibiotics. We administer antibiotics. Yes, the antibiotics that we use here is called pen and strip. It is very good. It is very good. It helps. It really works. Actually, after administering it to the animal, you realize that after, it can actually be, sometimes it even takes just 30 minutes and the thing comes out. Sometimes even an hour it comes out. So for you just administer it to the animal and then go about your business. But keep watching the animal. Yes, keep watching the animal. But we've had good results, especially after using the antibiotics. It really works. It really works. And at the end, the animal pushes out that thing, and the animal gains its strength back. In recap of this, I was talking about the condition pregnant animals tend to get into when they give birth. Usually in their late stages of pregnancy and after giving birth. And now what I'm talking about is that terrible condition they get into, of the animal being weak, of the animal being sickly, of the animal losing appetite. That terrible condition usually could be brought about by two factors that I've just described. One being a nutritional factor, and the last one being a pathogenic factor. Yes, so those are the two things I've been talking about. And then the nutritional factor, I talked about the deficiency of blood calcium to aid in fetal development, proper fetal development, and also in milk production after giving birth. So when there's that deficiency, that is a clear sign of failure of the body system to achieve what it was designed to do in that state. So the animal gets into that state, what you see in the physical of the animal being sickly and all that. Then secondly, the pathogenic factor is where the placenta gets retained, or the animal even fails to deliver the kid, and then it gets weak. It really gets weak. Usually we use an antibiotics. That helps a lot. Pen and strip has been of good help on our farm. It has really worked for us. So try it out. And if you have other views, anything that you would love our viewers or us even to know, please drop it in the comment section. It will be of help. This is to benefit us. It is to edify us, to help us as farmers and enjoy farming together. Yeah, so if you've been with us from the start of the video till now, thank you so much. But don't forget to subscribe, like, share our video, and let's grow this family together. Thank you so much, and shalom.